Hello and welcome to another edition of The Buzz. We have a lot on tap for you today. But first, as always, Eddie is on the spot.
This is Eddie Evans with the NorfolkDailyNews.com The Buzz. I'm with Pender coach Larry Ballinger. Now, Coach, you guys are off to a 15-2 start to the season. Talk about the progression of your team from the start of the season until this point of the season.
Yeah, it's been a nice progression. We got a long ways to go yet. We got to get some guards that will step up, and that's been a long process. We lost a lot of good guards last year in a strong post, and we're trying to separate ourselves from that team a year ago yet. And the girls are starting to figure out that they can be pretty good on their own. So it's a nice start for us, but it's not where we want to end up. We have goals, and we have to work to get better at that.
And while the Pendragons are having a ton of success, another girls team that isn't an area ratings team just because they're a Class A team that's having a lot of success is Norfolk High. Panthers off to a 12-3 start this year, led by J.C. Bradley, the younger sister of Jalen Bradley. Now for 4-area boys programs, there's a few more struggles on the court this year than there have been in the past. Norfolk Catholic, Norfolk High, Pearson, Wisner, Pilger, in fact, are all in jeopardy of possibly having their first losing seasons in over a decade. Right now, the Knights stand 9-7, the Panthers are 6-9, Pierce is at 7-8, and Wisner Pilger is at 4-12. And all four of those teams have difficult schedules to end. One of those teams right now maybe isn't quite as much in jeopardy as we thought, and that's Norfolk Catholic. A big reason that the Knights have struggled to their 9-7 record is injuries. They've suffered injuries to Connor Ketter, Alan Lewis, Dylan Bohr, just to name a few, and those are regulars in the Knights rotation. Ketter is finally back, 6'6". He's kind of the guy that does a little bit of everything for him. He can step outside and shoot the three. He works inside for rebounds, works inside to try and free up his teammates for layups because he's a good passer as well as a good shooter. He's got some good post moves. Him back on the court for the Knights makes them look a little bit more like that team that was ranked number 1 in Class C1 in the preseason. Another team with a lot of athletes on the court in Class D1 is your defending Class D1 state champion O'Neill St. Mary's. Right now, the Cardinals are 13-1 on the year following an impressive 72-67 overtime win over Creighton. And a big reason that the Cardinals are 7-1 on the season is 6'8" junior Adam Moon. He's not your typical 6'8" player, and that he, just like Connor Ketter, can step outside and shoot the three. He gets a ton of rebounds, 20 rebounds to be exact against Creighton. He's kind of the guy that goes through. And while the Cardinals haven't gotten consistent scoring from anyone else on the roster, they've had different people step up from night to night. Creighton, though, they're 13-4 on the year. And sophomore Bo Schindler, he was outsized by Adam Moon quite a bit. Stepped up, had 13 points, 13 rebounds, really worked his tail off inside. Didn't have a tail before the game, so maybe he didn't work it off. Maybe he just began without a tail, left without a tail. I'm going to leave without a tail today because I'm feeling a little sheepish. Don't know what that has to do with my lack of a tail. What do sheep's tails look like? I've never gotten that close to the rear end of a sheep before. I'm going to do that this weekend. Until then, though, I'm going to be watching conference basketball tournaments. Actually, after then, I'll be watching them. Next week is conference tournament week, and we'll probably have a little bit of that action for you next week on The Buzz. Until then, read your papers, check out NorfolkDailyNews.com, and watch some basketball.